If you've ever been on a phone call with a seller or a buyer that has a friend that is their real estate agent, and they know that the job didn't get done, you know that there's value you can provide, and they seem to be hesitant in setting that appointment with you, this is a way that I found to convert them at a much higher rate. It doesn't say you have to choose me now, but it does say there was a challenge. I've got multiple solutions, and these challenges that you're facing are costing you time, energy, and money. This one will help if you've ever come across this or you're looking to sharpen your skills and get better with these ones. Hey, Nathan, Josh Pono, good morning.
Hello, who's this?
Josh Pono, I'm calling about 123 Main Street. Did you sell that home or is it still for sale?
Main Street. We have a few different properties. Which one?
123 Main Street. When are you guys interviewing the best agent to get the property sold?
The one on Main Street. Oh yeah, that one came off. It doesn't look like we're gonna be doing anything with that one for a while now.
Totally understand, man. I know you're calling it out of the blue. You got two or three properties on the market, it sounds like. You got more than one, right?
Yeah, we have we're getting off a couple investments right now.
Hey, that's incredible. I think your timing is phenomenal. The market is absolutely bonkers again, just like in the first quarter of 2021. Hey, out of curiosity, you got one expired listing, you got a couple on the market. How did you meet the agent?
Gabe, me and Gabe have been knowing each other for a few years now. We've worked together in the past. He's helped me buy these properties as well.
Oh, awesome, man. So you've worked with him before. He helped you find the property. So there's a great sense of loyalty there. Out of curiosity, how many properties have you listed and have you sold with Gabe in the last, say, 4 months, 5 months?
We helped him buy. Well, we had three. He helped us buy all three, and then we did some cosmetic work to them, and then we've been selling. How do you get my number?
Great question. I'm really glad you asked. Now, when you say that Gabe helped you list three properties, did any of those sell?
Well, we have two currently on the market, and then one just came off. But I think we're probably gonna go, relist it pretty soon.
Phenomenal. That's exactly why I'm calling. I have your number because I'm a licensed real estate agent. I have access to some special tools. We specialize in selling properties that other agents couldn't. It sounds like Gabe, how long have the two properties that have been on the market, how long have they been on the market and haven't sold yet? When'd you list them?
Well, we just finished both of those fairly recently. The other one was just a little bit longer because that one was done. That one was done. It was like a light cosmetic. So we had that one on the market for 3 months. It was a 3-month agreement initially on the listing. With rates and everything right now, and the timing, we just probably we didn't get as much interest as we thought, and now we're looking to relist.
Really? Is that what Gabe said?
No, that's just kind of what we noticed with the market. I think we priced it a little bit. We priced it a little higher than we maybe the market could support, so we didn't get too much activity.
Now, I understand that when you take a strategy and sometimes it misses, it can be a challenge. My question to you, you said somewhat recently you listed the other two. I once had a client tell me somewhat recently, and he started telling me a story about 1975. When you say somewhat recently, what do you mean by that? How many? 10 days, 20 days, 30 days?
Yeah, like less than 30.
Less than 30. So is that 25? Is that 3?
Yeah, it's like, let's say 25 days.
Okay. So the reason why I'm going in this direction, not to poke or prod, but again, you mentioned rates, you mentioned not as much action as you want. And when you don't get the action that you want, or a property sits on the market, typically you're going to see less money, aren't you?
Yeah, typically, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. And so as much as Gabe did a phenomenal job at helping you buy the property as of late, and by the way, the numbers just came out. There were 2,038 homes that came to market. There was almost 2,100 that went pending. When you say the rates and all that stuff, rates are coming down and the market is just as hot as it was in the first quarter of 2021. We appreciated 5.5%. So the good news is the lack of ability to get the property sold in this case did not cost you money. But as I'm sure you're aware, since you're trying to unload these properties and cash out, we do probably have some economic turmoil coming down the road. So I think your strategy is on point. My question to you is this: who picked the strategy and the pricing on cashing you out so you could go put the money elsewhere?
We both kind of came to a conclusion on the price. I really just wanted, I want my price. We put in a lot of effort. We had to put in a lot of money into getting these homes, getting them remodeled, tenants out. It was a whole deal. And, I just really want to get my price.
I get it. Nobody gives real estate away. And I can tell that you do this a lot. And there's also a sense of pride of ownership coming through the phone that I can hear and I'm picking up on. Question for you. When you say you want to get your price, typically the savviest investors, they know exactly what they need to get because they have an idea of where they're going to put money. I mean, some of my best clients, they had the whole thing laid out before they even began. Where are you going with the money? You're going to cash out and put it in what vehicle?
We're thinking about just kind of cashing out, waiting for the market to kind of cool down a little bit again, and then re-putting it into another property in the future.
Bold strategy. So you're going to cash out while the market's hot, sit tight a little bit. These are investment properties, though, that you never lived in. You never got any tax benefits from there, correct?
Yeah, they're just investment properties.
So did Gabe, I mean, I'm a little confused. Did Gabe hook you up with a 1031 exchange, or are you just going to pay the exorbitant amount of capital gains on the property?
We thought about doing a 1031 exchange, but I think we're just kind of in the situation where we want to just put it probably into, we're putting it into a trust account and just kind of hold on and once the market comes down.
Gotcha. What was the tax bill when you were running your cash flow analysis and you were looking at all the different strategies? How much are you going to pay the IRS if you get your price?
Most likely 30%, maybe a little higher.
Meaning how much?
Oh, like in cash, like amount?
Yeah, I mean, on the net settlement sheet, you would have had a profit. You would have a profit amount, and then based on the conversation with your CPA, they would have told you an exact amount, and that would be
probably about 50,000 a home.
Wow, 50,000. Okay,
yeah, we're probably going to be netting around 200.
You strike me as a long-term investor, somebody that really is looking to play the long game and build wealth, or is this kind of just like you did a few and you're not into it anymore, and you're going to stop building wealth through real estate after you cash out?
I think it's something I definitely have interest in, but just kind of with the market and everything that happened right now, it did kind of put a little bit of liability on this. So want to make sure that we get this done, and then I'm probably going to reconvene and relook at everything and see what's the next plan of action.
Well, hey, thank you so much for sharing all this information with me, Nathan. I know that you don't speak to everybody this long. And again, this is my bread and butter. I've worked with millionaire investors that play the long game. I've worked with investors that do it a little bit here and there. And I've worked with the average homeowner. And most importantly, I've noticed that there's a couple type of clients. Usually they kind of fall into two categories. There's people that have a relationship with somebody, and whether or not they succeed, whether or not they're costing them money and time, and they're actually detracting from their ability to hit their goals, they're going to stay loyal no matter what. And then the second category is a group of successful people that understand in real estate investing, the right representation can do massive differences in what you're building for wealth in your portfolios by getting the right information at the right time and allowing yourself to capitalize on the markets when the time is appropriate. Do you feel like there's accountability in business, or are you so tied in with Gabe that even if you knew for a fact there was a different strategy that would bring you more money, you wouldn't even look at that?
Kind of based on what you're saying, I'd be interested to look into it. I definitely do think, some of the tax implications are a little high, and I just kind of want to see, maybe some more options. But, Gabe's, we've been kind of working together for a while. We haven't signed a exclusive agreement. Actually, no, we did sign an exclusive agreement, on the listing side. So we'd have to cancel those and stuff like that. Can you still talk to me if we have something going on with Gabe?
I'm really glad you brought that up, because that was a question of just, hey, I want to be super respectful of the relationship. In fact, there's also some fiduciary duties that are in play and some contract obligations. And by the way, I hope you sell the other two properties that are on the market with Gabe, because I know what it's like not to be able to move the way you want. It is a little concerning that it sat on the market as long as it is. I know you said less than 30 days, only 25, but at the end of the day, the one that didn't sell, we absolutely can have a conversation around that one at the appropriate time. I have a question for you though. In regards to moving forward, specifically talking about the one listing that didn't sell right now in that exclusive lane, other than the fact that Gabe is a good friend, other than the fact that he's done an incredible job over the years in past transactions, other than that, if you could wave a magic wand and fix a couple things in that process, What are those three? What are those few things that you would like to enhance or improve next time, whether with Gabe or somebody else?
Just want to make sure I get a full. I feel like it was just kind of a one off. Like we got some photos, we put the description together. I feel like we need to have something that's more, I don't know, copacetic, kind of a thorough listing kind of presentation. Also would like for, just people, more showings. We need to get more people there, and just, more interest. We didn't really get too much interest on the first one.
Gotcha. So what I hear you saying is that it didn't seem like there was a lot of unison or alignment in the strategy and the plan. It didn't seem like you were being given the best consulting advice of exactly how to navigate it. And it caused, in your perspective, a lack of results with the outcome that you experienced on that one specific listing that's no longer on the market.
Yes.
Do you think that crossed over to the other two as well, meaning it was kind of the same formula everywhere?
It's feeling, somewhat. We got a little bit more interest on the other ones because they priced a little lower. But yeah, it does feel like, sometimes the agents just kind of put their, stick in the ground and just kind of, wait for people to come to them.
Gotcha. It sounds like Gabe got you a really good deal, or in the past, he was really super helpful. And that's really the biggest thing that he brings to the table is you feel kind of obligated to work with him because he did such a good job in a different market.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of accurate. Yes.
Hey man, I really appreciate that. How long ago did you buy these properties?
We've been working on these properties for about 2 years now.
Okay. So bought it in early 2021, right before the pandemic.
Yeah, it was like right towards the 2021, right towards the end of the pandemic.
Oh, you know what? You're right, man. Time flies. I was thinking that was 2020. All right, so he helped you buy it in that market. It's appreciating. You made some good money. The truth is that anybody that bought property 2 years ago, whether you were a brand new agent or you were somebody that had been in business 20 years, your clients were winning because of the fact that the market went up 50%, and no agent that helped somebody buy in 2021 did anything spectacular other than helping them get that transaction done. And right around that time, we were seeing a lot of buyers because of the interest rates. All right, I'm assuming you're locked in on some pretty great interest rates there as well.
Yeah, that's how we made this whole thing happen. Was our rates are about the same as today's rates on a hard money.
All right. Well, listen, a couple little things. I mean, I'm looking forward to our next conversations. Obviously, I've got 3 different strategies that I think would really change the game and making sure you get more traffic, get a congruent plan that'll allow you to actually hit your number, and at the same time, help you position your portfolio to capitalize on the next wave that you're looking for when it comes to the market. When do the contracts expire on the other 2 listings?
We have about 2 months on those.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah, we have about 2 months on those.
Why was this one so short? Did they all list at the same time?
No, we have this one done. This one was finished first in the remodel.
Gotcha. So this one was finished first. And if you could get your price on that one, would you bring it right back to the market if you could get your price today on it?
On the one that expired?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still up. It's still up and running. If you have a buyer.
Phenomenal. I love the opportunity to prove my worth to clients. It's how I built my business. Most of my business outside of cancel and expires is all past clients and repeat successes. Question for you. You've got 2 other properties on the market. I hope those sell. I don't want to talk a single thing about those because I want your plan to run to fruition, and I'm crossing my fingers that you get that sold. In regards to this other one that you now have a decision to make on, how do I change the strategy to get more traffic, get more results? Because you've got a challenge in your way right now. Do you know what that challenge is?
We're just having a tough time, kind of getting the meat and potatoes of the market. We're having a tough time getting showings.
Well, yeah, you've got a challenge because everybody buys a property based on the story, based on the story and the value of the property. The market's already seen your property. And so everybody that's seen your property at your price, everybody's already seen it, and they've made a conclusion that they didn't want to buy it, and now it's off the market. So when it comes back on the market, if you go at the same price, what are they going to think about your property?
I don't know, that we're not motivated.
Well, let me ask you a question. You're an investor. If you saw a property on the market for 90 days in one of the hottest times, in one of the hottest times to buy a property, and it sat for 90 days and expired and it didn't sell, what would you think about that property?
Might have not been a good investment, good property.
And as an investor, you probably would still go look at it, because what if the seller's desperate? You might make a lowball offer. Have you ever thought about that when buying real estate?
Yeah, I think everyone has.
So does everybody else. So one of the things that has helped my clients is how to position the property so that you completely target a new audience to get new traffic, get new buyers, and completely change the story. If I could show you a way to have a perfectly aligned new strategy that would alleviate the challenges we discussed by driving in more traffic from a new audience and getting you your price, is that a meeting you would take before giving Gabe a second shot on the third listing where the contract has been severed?
Yeah, I hear you. And, it could be something that we could maybe visit down the line. I just think that I just kind of want to look at everything and, the way everything our last experience has been. I kind of want to make sure do you have any references or?
Yeah, I've references till I'm blue in the face. Question for you. When you say, I just want to look at everything, what about the process or what about the situation haven't you looked at yet?
Just want to make sure that, I feel like we had a good relationship with Gabe. I mean, he did make we didn't get the property sold, but, I just want to make sure that, I'm kind of upholding that relationship too. But you seem like you seem like you know what you're doing and everything. I just kind of wanted to check with him to see, kind of what we should do.
Yeah, great. When you say check with him, it sounds like you're wondering, since I'm offering you new strategies and a new approach, you're wondering maybe Gabe has the same thing and he just didn't share that with you yet.
Yeah, it's just I think I don't know. I think, you just kind of called me and, maybe if you could send me some then we can kind of, talk. I think.
Gotcha. So it sounds like everything we've been talking about makes a lot of sense to you.
Yeah.
And it sounds like based on the way your tonality is, you still would be uncomfortable making a switch immediately without really digesting this information and having a logical and reasonable conversation with Gabe prior to making any decision. Is that correct?
Kind of what I'm.
Well, just so you know, that's exactly what I want you to do. I'm not saying interview me or talk to me and then get rid of Gabe. What I'm saying is have Gabe present the strategy. In fact, I've got a video. You said you want some information from me. I've got a video on my website called The 3 Questions You Should Ask Your Agent Before You Decide to rehire them. Okay, there's 3 questions that every single owner like yourself, if you're not asking these questions, you're more than likely to get the same exact results next time. So what I'm suggesting is that you go to Gabe and you have a conversation with him, because you don't want the same results for Gabe, because if it doesn't sell twice, now the relationship's really tarnished, right?
Yeah, you're
and
right.
It sounds like you don't want that relationship to go sideways, which is why you're hesitant to meet me, correct?
Yeah, you're right.
It's almost like being married and then some attractive woman says, "Hey, do you want to go to dinner?" And you're like, "It sounds nice, but no way."
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Well, we're not getting married and I'm not courting you. What I'm doing is I'm meeting with you in a business setting after you've spoken to Gabe and said, "Gabe, I've got 3 questions for you. Love you, respect you, and I need to get results." I'm sure Gabe would agree with that, wouldn't he? In fact, do you think Gabe likes working for free?
No, probably. Yeah, no, he does.
So he wants to get it sold too. He really, really wants to get it sold because he doesn't want to disappoint you. So give him the opportunity. That's what I'm saying. Give him the opportunity to present you the new strategies, give you the solutions. Once you have that conversation, then you and I, on this listing that you're not under contract with, before you sign a new listing agreement, you take all his best strategies. Don't tell him to me, by the way. Don't tell him to me. Have him give you all your best strategies. And then you and I will have a quick 15 to 30-minute meeting. It can go longer because you're probably going to have some questions about these strategies. I'm going to present you ideas that I guarantee you're not getting. And if you love it, if it's compelling, if you realize after doing all your homework that you're leaving money on the table and the solutions aren't up to par, at that point, then you can make a decision. Are you at least open to that exploration at this time?
Yeah. Sorry, froze. Yeah, sorry, the computer froze. Yeah, I'm open to the idea.
Are you sure? I mean, listen, I'm not going to try to pull your leg. I mean, I'm just offering you valuable solutions that I know that will benefit you and help you get where you want to go so you can get your price.
I think you make sense. My email and send that over to me. And then, yeah, I'm going to have the conversation with him. And, I would say give me a call back maybe in a week or two. And then what we want to do from there.
No problem. Listen, one of the things is, I run an office. I do a nationwide training program on this kind of stuff. My schedule, if it's not on my calendar, it will not get done. When do you want to meet at the property for 15 minutes at the one that's off the market in the next, you said 2 weeks, right? When do you want to meet at the property? You want to do it on a weekend, weekday, weeknight? What's best for you? I can do early as well.
I think let's do it in the morning if possible.
All right, I can do as early as 7:30 in the morning for meetings like this. I'm usually
maybe 8:30.
8:30 a.m.
Yeah. And
would you prefer Tuesday or Wednesday this week?
Let's do Tuesday. I have something going on Wednesday.
All right. So here's what the game plan will be, and you tell me if this is in alignment with you and you feel like this will be valuable. One, we're going to meet at the property real quick. I'm going to walk through the property. I'm going to get a feel of the emotion that is created around this property. I'm going to identify the perfect target type and audience type for the buyer. And I'm going to present to you what's going on in the market and how to leverage that so that you get a ton of traffic, you get a ton of buyers, and they're making offers that can be leveraged to make sure you get your price. I'll also talk to you about solving a couple of the challenges that you had in this scenario and provide you with solutions that most agents are going to miss, or they're just nervous to tell you. I will be very direct with you. At the end of that, I'm going to ask you if you feel blown away by the service, by the communication, and if and only if you are completely blown away, I will make sure that nothing else gets in the way of working with us if that's what you want. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. And by the way, if at any point I haven't done my job, I just want to let you know I will not take it personally. You will not be the first person that told me no. I meet with a ton of you, people just like you, every single week. Only about 85% of them actually work with me. So it's okay if you're part of the 15%. I just want to let you know this is a consultation with no commitment. All I'm going to do is deliver value and information, and I'm going to bring my A game so that I either earn it or I help you on the next one with Gabe. Fair enough?
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I appreciate it.
I'm going to meet you at the property, 123 Main Street on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. I'm going to follow up with you on Monday night, and I'm going to call you. And if I don't hear from you, I'm going to assume that we're still on for the meeting. And I will also follow up with you some information. It'll get you where you want to go. So you can do all your background checking on me. You can talk to the clients. I hope you do call them. They're going to talk to you about all the results that they have. And they brag about me more than I like to.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
All right, man. Did you have any questions for me before I get to work?
No. I just send me the video. Here's my email. Call Nate, realestate@gmail.com.
Well,
red flag.
Yeah, red flag. Just wasted 30 minutes.
That was good though. I try to throw you as many curveballs as I could think of.
Yeah, you that happens sometimes though, right?
Yeah.
That happens with when you get to the end, right? Now in this one, you're throwing me curveballs and you're just seeing how I respond. And when we get to the end, if that's the case with this guy and I get to the end and all of a sudden he's saying stuff like, well, what you're saying is good. Send me some information. I want to dig back into why did I just make so much sense and why is he now hesitating?
Yeah.
You just said yes, and now you're saying no. And what usually is happening is they're thinking of the thought of being guilty or disloyal. This one was also an interesting one because I don't know. I actually don't know what I think. I'd have to double check with the board, but I think from a legal perspective, as long as you're only talking to them about that one listing, you're okay. Because
Yeah, I think
yep.
so.
And so it was also interesting there because he's still in relationship with this guy. Right.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big sale to be like, yeah, I've got 2 listing agents. This one's on these 2, and I just hired this guy. I fired the guy that I'm already in contract with. But ultimately, that guy, and if he does say, send me the information, he's not going to meet with me, then I'm going to say, all right, great. And I'm going to go into selling the automated nurture program that we have that's going to highlight the values and benefits. And I'm going to say, hey, when it comes to properties that don't expire, compare our system, compare our follow-up, compare our marketing to other people, because you'll see that we showcase we're different.